When I was a special agent with the State Department in the 1980s, I was assigned to work on the hostages that were kidnapped in Lebanon by Hezbollah. And one of the key drivers behind our efforts was the kidnapping of a CIA station chief by the name of William Buckley. And I've always wanted to tell his story because this is a hero who died for his country. You had just had an embassy bombing in Beirut that basically took the legs out from underneath all the U.S. intelligence collection efforts in Lebanon. The CIA station had been bombed at a gathering of a meeting of intelligence officers, so the entire footprint for intelligence operations had stopped. And they were looking for a man to go into Beirut, and Bill Buckley raised his hand and volunteered to go. And I was always fascinated when I was working the case in the 1980s, what drove this man to want to run towards danger? It kind of reminded me of firefighters and police officers running into the Twin Towers on 9/11. This was a person that volunteered to go to Beirut during a time period that was extraordinarily dangerous and one that Americans had been targeted for kidnappings and had been victimized. Buckley is sent into the lion's den basically with an organization that had been formulated to target the Nazis in World War II, to defeat the evil axis of global problems and wars. And you had an organization that had then been primarily focused on the Cold War with the Berlin Wall and doing battle very clandestinely against the Soviet KGB. So then you had this organization in the 80s that were now thrown into the midst of all this global terror in Beirut. And Buckley is the man that goes into Lebanon to try to rebuild the CIA's network during this time period. And they were still operating under kind of a Cold War principle, and yet they were dealing with these ruthless thugs and killers that were using the gun and the bomb to kill Americans. Beirut Rules is a true story of William Buckley, the only CIA chief of station that's ever been kidnapped and murdered by a foreign terrorist organization.